All right. Well, let us begin our time today with a land and labor recognition. We acknowledge that much of our work takes place on the territory and ancestral lands of more than 574 indigenous tribal nations across Turtle Island, what many of us refer to as North America. We acknowledge our debt to enslaved Africans whose labor and suffering built and grew the economy and infrastructure of a country that refuses to recognize their humanity. We invite you to take a moment to reflect on whose land you are living and working on, and if you do not know, to research and to reflect. I'm going to share my screen. And I welcome you all today to Wayfinding in the Commons, where, in the words of Jamar Tisby, hope is a group project. I want to start our time today by reading from the book of Genesis. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, "As for me, I am establishing my covenant with you and your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the domestic animals, and every animal of the earth with you, as many as came out of the ark. I establish my covenant with you that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of a flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. God said, 'This is the sign of the covenant that I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you.'" Whoopsies. "For the future." No, it was so nice. "For the future generation, for all future generations. I have set my bow in the clouds, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth and the bow is seen in the clouds, I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the water shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. God said to Noah, 'This is the sign of the covenant that I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth.'" I'm wondering if anybody wants to share what stood out to them, either in the chat or if you want to unmute.
I can start. When I hear this, so often we think of the rainbow as a reminder for us, God's people, that God would never do that again. But it never says the sign is for us, it's a sign for God. And it just popped out that, we often make it about us. Oh, look, it's a reminder for us. And it was never about us, it was a reminder for God.
Thank you. What else stood out to us?
It gives me hope to know I'm not the only one who needs reminders.
Yep.
I think for me, it's the reminder of what all is included.
Mhm.
Like this bow that comes over is like sheltering so much more, maybe.
Mhm.
And it's not just me.
Thank you.
And Stephanie, I'm not sure what changed, but we can see your full desktop now.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I'm just trying to see everybody's face. So, um, and I wanted to see the chat too. So Brenda said, "I feel part of all flesh, the inclusiveness of this covenant."
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say to Steph, is just the reminder that the covenant is between God and all of creation, and we are wrapped in that. We aren't the center of that. We are one component of that,
Hmm.
and that's helpful for me.
Yeah. Thank you. keep trying to be able to see everybody and my screen, and it's not working. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a second so I can see you again, and then I'll go back to sharing. Are there any other thoughts anybody wanted to share? Well, I will give you my what stood out to me here, which is very similar to what Katie said. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. That's the verse that stood out to me. And the 2 points that it made to me was number one, the rainbow is God's promise to humanity and a reminder to God's own self. And the second thing that is super important to me is that says to me that God changed their mind. God, who is like God, can change their mind about things. And does that mean that we also can change our minds about things? I want to play a song for you that has been all over my TikTok feed for the past week or so. And if it has not been all over your TikTok feed, I'll tell you a little bit more about why it is. But it refers to the beautiful rainbow at the beginning of the song.
All the colors of the rainbow, all the voices of the wind, every dream that reaches out to find where love begins, every word of every story, and every star and every sky, every corner of creation lives to testify. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be a witness in the silences when words are not enough. With every breath I take, I will give thanks to God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. From the mountains to the valleys, from the rivers to the seas, every hand that reaches out, every hand that reaches out to offer peace, every simple act of mercy, every step to kingdom come, all the hope and every heart will speak what love has done. Speak what love has done. Yeah. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be a witness in the silences when words are not enough. With every breath I take, I
So this has been showing up in my feed. That was a song, "Testify to Love," that was originally made very, very, very popular in contemporary Christian circles in the late 90s and early 2000s. It was like the top hit at the time. And one of the singers, Michael Passons, was kicked out of the group because he was gay and he refused conversion therapy. Melissa Green is one of the other people who was singing that song. She, at the time, says, well, now she says she was on the wrong side of that argument. At the time, she agreed with their decision to kick him out of the group. And over many, many years, she has changed her position, and luckily, some of the world of Christianity and Christian music has also kind of had a change of heart. And so Melissa and Michael, and then the third person singing that, Ty Herndon, is a well-known gay country artist. So they've re-released this song just last week as a reminder that God's love is for everyone, and it is kind of a beautiful anthem, and I love the song. And so it's showing up in all of my TikTok places, and a lot of people who are saying, who are deconstructing faith, who left the church because they did not feel welcome, are feeling that there's a place for them now. So yeah, that song gives me goosebumps. And I saw Jill singing along. That was beautiful. Thank you for singing along. So I wanted to use the scripture and that song to guide our conversation today. All right, now, and I want to show our three questions that we'll talk about. First, I would love us to talk about how the concept that God can change their mind, how is that speaking to your heart right now? Secondly, when we go into our breakout groups, I invite you to discuss what you are being invited to rethink or consider changing your mind about. And I would love for you to finish up by thinking about what is your next most faithful step in that consideration of what you might be invited to change your mind about. And I think once we go into groups, Jason, I can put these in the chat, right? Yes. And Jason's probably furiously working on getting us into groups as we do this. So,
Actually, I was furiously typing the questions in the chat, so
oh, thank you for
I think
doing
I
that.
got those right. And everybody should be able to see those. And yeah, are we ready for breakout rooms then?
Yes.
Awesome. Here we go.
Oh, you're muted, Janelle. Are you telling us?
I was going to say, I didn't mean to leave. I was in the middle of a sentence and all of a sudden I left. So
Well, welcome back anyway.
thank you.
You want to finish your sentence with us?
Well, I said, because we were talking about angst and all of those things, I said, and if our basic needs are not being met as we're in a transition, as there's something out there, like we are not functioning well.
Mhm.
So, no.
Few more seconds and everybody be back.
Okay, I'm going to mute because I'm going to get a phone call shortly.
Okay. Thanks, Jen. All right, we're all back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Who would like to share? Keeping the confidences of your peers. Are there any themes, learnings, noticings? Give me stack some more questions.
I'm not planning on doing anything new right now.
Mhm.
I'm planning on strengthening my faith and trusting God that the reality that we're living right now isn't going to last forever.
Mm.
That's all. It's a lot of work to do that.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not nothing.
But keep proclaiming that, sister.
Oh
You need
yeah.
to keep proclaiming that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's where we three sort of went towards the end too. I mean, how do we, during this difficult time, I mean, just not maintaining, but continuing, maybe, Jill, using your word, um, in spite of the fact that, uh, we are overwhelmed, um, that kind of thing. And that's why the reminder is so good that we have the covenant, with God.
Thank you.
Hopefully your breakout rooms weren't this quiet.
Ours wasn't. Sounds like we all kind of talked about the same things, but I was expressing a frustration and not knowing much about too much because I really do stay off of all the medias. Um, that, we're called to love people who are not loving others and how hard that has been for me. So my personal challenge is to keep going back to I'm going to ask God to change me and bless them.
Mm.
Even though every single day I'm like, no, they need to change. I just keep praying that because I realize there's some work that I need to do in my own heart, feeling like I'm right or, there's sides. So,
Mm. If I can piggyback on that, Jenny, I don't remember who shared this with me just recently, but she said she just learned from her therapist she can be right or she can be in relationship. And I was like, oh, don't say that.
I use that phrase too. I learned that in my CPE, my clinical pastoral education, and that came back a lot.
Is it okay to choose right versus relationship?
But
Sorry, Eugene. Go
I
off.
also think very much that if we're in relationship and we listen and we give more than is expected, that begins to open the door. Because after a while, you're standing on sand if you're not standing on the truth.
Mm.
So and I had this experience with my ex. If you sit and you listen and you're empathetic to their point of view, they begin to kind of work themselves into a corner, actually. But they don't think that. They think that they're just giving their impression. But it gets to the point where their argument doesn't stand. So I've learned just to listen. And by listening, you break down the wall and you continue the relationship and hope to God that their eyes are opened.
But my struggle is, and Tammy probably is sick of me saying this, but not because of Tammy, but because of me, because I keep saying it, is where are the people of faith? I mean, these folks, these nationalists, Christian nationalists, I mean, they've sat in their pew all their lives, and where is their faith? And how have we let so much racism and homophobia and all the isms just increase during this time? How are we living out our faith? And I just don't see it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm sure everybody's trying. There are people that are doing that, but it shouldn't be this bad if we are really living out our faith. And there are people that have never done that and will never do that. So how, even if he gets out of office, what's going to be different? What are we going to demand? How are we going to demand to change the way people are treated?
Thank you, Brenda. Just noticing our time. Jill, was there a thing you wanted to share? Is that right?
Steph,
And
do
then,
you want me to play it?
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah. So friends, I am, and I feel like this short video clip connects to everything that we've been sharing today. I am the churchwide representative for the Southwestern Minnesota Synod Assembly, and as part of my prep, every time I go to a synod, I try to interview leaders in that space so I get to know more about the synod that I'm coming to and really hear what's important in this space. So I'm going to share, it's less than a minute. It's the words of Pastor Andres Albertson. Pastor Albertson is a Danish-born pastor who grew up in Argentina and now serves in southwestern Minnesota. So he's this beautiful intersection of all of these cultures. And I want you to hear what he has to say about differences. It'll take me just a second to click on everything.
In my Eucharistic prayer every Sunday, I say something like, we are gathered here at the table with all our differences, and I include there everything, also sexual orientation and gender identity, and of course immigration status and nationality and physical appearance, and whatever difference we come with. Yeah, I like to say that we come at the table, we gather as a community with our differences and not in spite of our differences.
So there you have it.
Thank you.
I think that's saying something very strong about having an open communion.
Yeah.
And our church just switched a couple years ago to open communion. At first, I wasn't enthusiastic about it, but it's not our table. It's God's table. It's Jesus's table.
Yes.
And he didn't say no to anybody.
Sounds like he changed your mind.
Oh, I certainly did.
I certainly changed mine as well, coming from the Catholic Church and not wanting my kids to be in a space where you had to have this, you had to believe this, you had to do this, and if you don't, then you're excluded. It's very hard because my family is still there, but yeah, I don't want anyone excluded from that. God didn't exclude anyone from that.
I was to honor our time for those who need to go. Otherwise, we'll hang around for a few minutes. Thank
It was
you all.
good to be with you all.
And thank you to Stephanie for preparing our time today in such a beautiful and impactful way. And thanks to each of you for who you are, what you've brought to the space.
Thank you.
Mhm.